These were the most unhealthy chickens I'd ever seen in my life. The thing was, it wasn't about the food they were given, the water they were given, their nasty conditions. It wasn't anything like that. Their owner, in my opinion, had something I like to call egg greed. They could not handle letting their chickens not lay eggs as often or at all in the wintertime. And in order to make their chickens lay eggs in the wintertime, they put them under a heat lamp all day and all night long. If you're not aware, heat lamps are also something you just simply should not put in your coop. It's very dangerous. A little bit of malfunction and you can burn your whole coop down and kill all your chickens. And then if it spreads to your house or your garage, whatever, you got major issues at hand. Heat lamps are a big no-no for anything, truthfully. See, this woman, there was a friend of an acquaintance of mine we used to go to church with. She's on Facebook, had pictures of eggs that she was getting in like December, January, whatever, and somebody wanted to know how she's doing it, and she told them, heat lamp. She has a red light, so a red light heat lamp on her chickens 24 hours a day in the wintertime because it kept them warm and laying eggs. If you're not aware, that has very little, if any, to do with your chickens laying eggs. What it does do is give them light, keeps them awake. Light is the number one reason why your chickens are or are not laying eggs, okay? If obviously the days get shorter this time of year and there's less sunlight, correct? It's very simple. Your chickens need, I'm going to say 13.5 to 15.5 hours of light for optimum laying. You're going to read 14 to 16. I believe they're good at 13.5 to 15.5 because once you get beyond 15.5, really once you get beyond 15, they start to get almost too much light and they become stressed from being up and active too long and maybe a little tired. But that's another story. See, what this woman had done with her chickens was cause them an immense amount of stress by giving her chickens way too much light, thinking she was keeping them warm, but the truth is that red light was keeping them awake all night long. So yes, she was getting eggs because their bodies were awake and active, which we'll talk about in a minute, but the other side of that is they were also stressed because they were awake and active too long. And there's some studies out there, some truth be told about it, is that red light is actually stressful for them, causes them to be active and fearful. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. The red light will keep them active because it's up and it's red. That's why you see brooders with people who are raising baby chicks have red lights, because it keeps them more active. But also, it may cause them to be more fearful. So they're also active and fearful, and they were not getting any rest at all. The chickens were so stressed out. She may have been getting eggs, but her chickens could have died, within 6 months at that point. Depends on how you view it. I don't want to kill my chickens in 6 months. We absolutely love getting our delicious backyard eggs. I mean, our chickens right here foraging on this beautiful clover and grass and other random weeds in the yard right now. But very few of them are laying eggs because some of them are doing their seasonal molt. Some of them are just not laying because there's not enough light. And the ones that are laying aren't laying as often because there's not enough light. That's totally okay. I mean, you care about your chickens, you have to allow them to have that break. So many people want to know, what exactly is it that makes your chickens not lay eggs, and why does the light affect them the way it does? It influences their hormonal cycle, okay? More light kind of triggers their hormones to be going a little bit. Less light triggers hormones to kind of gear down a little bit, and that creates melatonin, and the melatonin causes them to sleep more. And when there's less light, that creates more melatonin in their bodies, and the melatonin kind of signals for a decrease in egg laying. And honestly, people take melatonin to help them sleep. It's more of a geared down kind of idea. So that's layman terms, but this is what Google's going to say about it, right? It directly influences the hormonal cycle, particularly through the pineal gland, which is sensitive to light and regulates reproductive hormones. Essentially, longer daylight hours trigger the release of hormones necessary for ovulation and egg production, leading to increased laying, while shorter daylight signals a decrease in laying. One one place says the light is captured by photoreceptors in the brain. The brain begins producing substances called neuropeptides. These neuropeptides tell the chicken's body to start producing the hormones needed for ovulation, yolk, and shell formation. So the truth is, you could add light, okay, to your chickens, and that's okay if that's what you want to do, but it's actually good for their bodies to get that break. You need to let them molt, rest, let their bodies rest, regrow their feathers, do all that. You know, if you don't allow that to happen, the molt may not work as well. You see, a chicken is born, or matured, I guess, with only a certain amount of yolk embryos inside of her. So she's only gonna lay a certain amount of eggs. It's not possible to lay more eggs than than the embryo she has in her already, okay? So what's gonna happen is, if you add light, then she's gonna go through those eggs faster and die faster, and probably gonna go through all those eggs before she gets too stressed out and dies, too worn out. Stressed out and worn out, honestly. So that's one really big reason why you don't want to add light, and why it's healthier for your chickens to not have added light. See, we used to add light for our chickens because we wanted the eggs, right? When we first had chickens, probably our first 3 years we had chickens, we added light, and we went from adding light longer times in the year to trying to massage it out and add light just a little bit to kind of get them started a little bit early. And now, honestly, the last, I don't know, 5-6 years, we just ain't doing it. Chickens are better off for it. You just manage your eggs, okay? Honestly, that's the best answer, is manage your eggs appropriately, and you ain't gotta worry about it. But if you do want to add light, let them molt, okay? Let their bodies rest and rejuvenate, okay? And maybe once they've all recovered and got their feathers back, add a little bit and kind of slowly work it up, okay? If you have to add light, I recommend don't, okay? But maybe add 15 minutes a day for a little while, you know, then work up to 30 minutes a day for a little while, and slowly get them into that, so that they didn't get a break, and you're slowly working them back to where maybe you get eggs maybe a month quicker than what you would have gotten them before, right? You just be easy about it, because they need that break. I recommend don't, but if you have to, you have to. If you feel like you need to, you need to. That's up to you. It's your flock, your decision. I'm not raising your chickens, but it's so important to allow them that break, okay? They really truly need that break from laying, let their bodies reset and rejuvenate, and you'll have better chickens for it, and have them longer for it, to be honest with you. And again, make sure it's just regular light. It don't have to be anything. If you do put, we have a Coop light, okay? We have a solar powered rechargeable Coop light that has a little remote. We only use it in the evenings when we're putting them up to get them settled down. Then we turn it off, move along. We're not adding light with it, okay? But if you needed to, that's something you would use. Don't use those red lights. Don't use heat lamps, please. Adding heat is a problem for your chickens. Adding that red light is a problem for your chickens. And then with a heat lamp too, again, it's terribly dangerous. Please don't do that. So again, if you have to add light, go ahead. Whatever, that's up to you. But take care of those chickens. Do the best you can with them, and do your best to not do so, okay? To not add light. It's healthy for your chickens, and honestly, it's kind of less work on you in the wintertime. I mean, unless you want a timer right there, but you still gotta get water out there to them. You don't want to leave water out there overnight. There's a whole scenario there, right? So it's a little less work to just let them go. But so thank you guys so much for watching. Do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.